How do leaders expand their mental models? The leader's mind can be developed beyond the non-leaders with strong independent thinking. Independent thinking means questioning assumptions and interpreting data and events according to one's own beliefs, ideas, and thinking, not according to rules, routines, or categories identified by others. People who think independently are willing to stand apart, to have opinions, and to say what they think, and to determine the course of action based on what they personally believe rather than what other people say. To think independently means staying mentally alert and thinking critically. Independent thinking is one part of what's called leader mindfulness. Mindfulness is a state of focused attention on the present moment and a readiness to create new mental categories in the face of evolving information and shifting circumstances. Mindfulness involves independent thinking and requires leader curiosity and learning. Mindful leaders are open-minded and stimulate the thinking of others through their curiosity and questions. Mindfulness is the opposite of mindlessness, which means blindly accepting rules and labels created by others. Mindless people let others do the thinking for them, but mindful leaders are always open to new ideas and approaches. Being mindful and thinking independently is important for leaders because they can easily become overwhelmed with the amount and the variety of tasks that confront them. Good leaders apply critical thinking to explore a situation, a problem, or question from multiple perspectives and integrate all the available information into a possible solution. When leaders think critically, they question all assumptions, vigorously seek divergent opinions, and try to give a balanced consideration to all alternatives. Personal mastery means mastering yourself in a way that facilitates your leadership and achieves desired results. Mastering yourself embodies three qualities: clarity of mind, clarity of objectives, and organizing to achieve objectives. First, clarity of mind means a commitment to the truth of current reality. Leaders are relentless in uncovering and are willing to challenge assumptions and standard ways of doing things. Their quest for truth leads to a deeper awareness of themselves and the larger systems and events within they operate. Clarity of mind enables them to deal with reality, which increases the opportunity to achieve desired results. Second, leaders engaged in personal mastery know what's important to them, so their objectives are clear. Clarity of objectives helps leaders focus on the end result, the vision or dream that motivates them and their team or organization. They have a clear vision of the desired future, and their purpose is to achieve that future. One element of personal mastery, then, is the discipline of continually focusing and defining what one wants at the desired future. Third, often there's a large gap between one's vision of the future and the current situation. Organizing to achieve objectives is a way to bridge the discrepancy between current reality and the vision for a better future. The effective leader lets the vision pull reality towards it by recognizing current activities and work towards the vision. The less effective way is to let reality pull the vision downward towards it. This means lowering the vision, such as walking away from a problem or settling for less than what's desired. Leaders with personal mastery learn to accept both the dream and the reality simultaneously and then close the gap by moving towards the dream. Leaders understand that personal mastery involves clarity of mind, clarity of objectives, and an organized system for achieving objectives. Emotional intelligence refers to a person's abilities to perceive, identify, understand, and successfully manage emotions in self and others. Being emotionally intelligent means being able to effectively manage ourselves and our relationships. Before we move much further, let's define what emotions actually are. There are hundreds of emotions and more subtleties of emotion than there are words to explain them. So, an important ability for leaders is to understand the range of emotions that people have and how these emotions may manifest themselves. One model that's useful for leaders distinguishes these major positive and negative emotions. There's 8, ranging from anger, sadness, fear, and envy on the negative side to relief, enjoyment, love, and pride on the positive side. As an example, anger might represent fury, outrage, frustration, or exasperation, where sadness might be grief, sorrow, gloom, or melancholy. Relief might be a release, reassurance, or ease, while enjoyment might be happiness, joy, delight, and amusement. Again, there are far more emotions than there are ways to describe them. So leaders who harness and direct the power of emotions to improve followers' satisfaction, morale, and motivation get better results and enhance overall organizational effectiveness. That's because the emotional state of the leader influences the entire team, department, or organization. Most of us can recognize that we can catch emotions from others. If we're around someone who's smiling and enthusiastic, the positive emotions rub off on us. Conversely, someone in a bad mood can bring us down. Leaders recognize the importance not only of keeping their own emotions in balance, but also of helping others manage negative emotions so they don't inflect the entire team or organization. Leaders tune in to the emotional state of others, bring unhealthy or negative emotions to the surface, and encourage people to explore the positive emotion in their everyday work. Leaders have a lot to do with whether employees have positive or negative feelings about their work lives. Research into the factors affecting mood in the workplace are growing. One thing seems clear: almost everything that influences a person's mood in the workplace is under the control of leaders. That's why leaders need a high degree of emotional intelligence. They have to regulate their own emotions to remain positive and hopeful and help pull others towards them. Now let's talk about the competencies and abilities of emotional intelligence that are grouped into 4 fundamental categories: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. It's important to remember that emotional intelligence can be learned and developed. Anyone can strengthen his or her abilities in these 4 categories. Self-awareness includes the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions and how they affect your life and work. It's the basis of all the other competencies. People who are in touch with their emotions are better able to guide their own lives. This component also includes the ability to accurately assess your own strengths and limitations, along with a healthy sense of self-confidence. The second key component, self-management, includes the ability to control disruptive, unproductive, or harmful emotions and desires. It's never too late for people to learn how to manage their emotions and impulses. Other characteristics in this category include trustworthiness, conscientiousness, and adaptability. Showing initiative to seize opportunities and achieve high internal standards is also part of self-management. Leaders skilled in self-management remain hopeful and optimistic despite obstacles, setbacks, and outright failures. Finally, relationship management refers to the ability to connect with others and build positive relationships. Leaders with high emotional intelligence are aware of the impact their behaviors have on others, and they treat people with compassion, sensitivity, and kindness. This aspect of EQ encompasses developing others, inspiring others with a powerful vision, listening and learning and communicating clearly and convincingly with others, and using emotional understanding to influence others in positive ways. Leaders use their understanding of emotions to inspire change and lead people towards something better, to build teamwork and collaboration, and to resolve conflicts that inevitably arise. Emotional intelligence enables leaders to recognize and respect followers as whole human beings with feelings, opinions, and ideas of their own. They use their emotional intelligence to help followers grow and develop, see and enhance their self-image and the feelings of self-worth, and help meet their needs and achieve personal and organizational goals. Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. And indeed, fear can be a powerful motivator, but many of today's leaders are learning that an environment that reflects care and respect for people is much more effective than one in which people are fearful. And we've learned that a fear-based organization loses its best people and their knowledge. In addition, even if those people stay with the organization, they typically don't perform up to their real capabilities. There's strong evidence that people who experience positive emotions at work perform better. Showing respect and trust also allows people to feel emotionally connected to their work, and their lives are richer and more balanced. Leaders can rely on negative emotions such as fear to fuel productive work, but by doing so, they may slowly destroy a person's spirit, which ultimately is bad for employees and the organization. After all, it's just not good influence. The workplace and leaders can hold many types of fear, including the fear of failure, of change, of personal loss, of being judged, and of the boss. Fears prevent people from doing their best, from taking risks, and from challenging the status quo. Fear gets in the way of people feeling good about their work, themselves, and the organization. It creates an atmosphere in which people feel powerless, so their confidence, commitment, enthusiasm, imagination, and motivation are diminished. One major drawback of leading with fear is that it creates avoidance behaviors because no one wants to make a mistake. Fear in the workplace weakens trust and communication. Employees feel threatened by repercussions if they speak up about work-related concerns. The relationship between an employee and his or her direct leader is the primary factor in the level of fear experienced at work. Unfortunately, the legacy of fear and mistrust associated with traditional hierarchies in which bosses gave orders and employees jumped to obey or else still colors the life in many organizations. Leaders can create a new environment that enables people to feel safe speaking their minds.